After a relatively stable trend in the COVID-19 cases, India is once again recording a rise in the number of infections dominated by the Omicron variant. A total of 58,000 fresh COVID-19 cases reported in India in the last 24 hours. This is a 55% increase in cases in just one day. The World Health Organization chief scientist says that the next 2 weeks are extremely crucial for the country in its fight against the latest phase of COVID-19, as health systems could get overwhelmed. Meanwhile, scientists from across the country are also voicing similar concerns. According to scientists from the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, the number of Omicron cases in India's west coast city, Mumbai, could peak in the next 10 days. That is from the 6th of January to the 13th. The scientists further said that it will take a month for the cases to come down, with the peak in fatalities being witnessed in the first week of February. India has been witnessing an increase in the number of Omicron cases. It recorded a total of 1,400 cases on the 1st of January and 1,700 cases of the latest variant on the 3rd of January. Meanwhile, as on date, India has recorded a total of 2,135 cases of the variant. Meanwhile, the number of COVID-19 cases in India has gone up by 6 times in just 9 days. On the 28th of December, the country reported 9,000 cases, while on the 1st of January, it reported 20,000 cases, which rose to 58,000 cases on the 5th of January. The maximum number of cases reported in India's western state of Maharashtra, followed by India's eastern state West Bengal and the country's national capital. The daily positivity rate in India standing at 4.18%, with the total number of 1.47 billion doses of vaccine administered. India recently commenced its vaccination drive for teenagers, remember, aged 15 to 18 years. Meanwhile, the Union Health Ministry of India has issued revised guidelines for home isolation of mild and asymptomatic COVID-19 patients. In a statement released, the ministry says, and I'm quoting, patient under home isolation, the patients will stand discharged and end isolation after at least 7 days have passed from testing positive and no fever for 3 successive days. Further emphasizing on how there is no need for retesting after the home isolation period is over. With the COVID-19 cases on the rise in the country, several states have imposed restrictions like night curfews. However, the early data suggesting that despite the high transmissibility of the Omicron variant, the latest variant appears to be less severe than the previous variants. Let's go straight across now to our correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who's with us for more details. Siddhant, tell us more about the restrictions that are being considered in different parts of the country.
Well, yes, Molly, we have seen an increase in number of cases, and restrictions, of course, have been announced by various state governments. We know Tamil Nadu today announced restrictions, especially when it comes to curfew. Yesterday, we saw the Delhi government announcing a weekend curfew. There's already a night curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. But largely, even as the case rise, we know that the government has been announcing and emphasizing on caution by making sure that there is less of crowd on the various locations, especially on the ground. And of course, the focus is that less and less number of people go outside, and that is why all non-essential activities have been asked to be curtailed. But largely the focus also on vaccination. We know that there was a briefing today by the Indian Health Ministry, the over 1 hour long briefing, in which a lot of questions were taken, and the Indian government for first time clarified that when it comes to the precautionary doses that will be given to healthcare workers, the frontline workers, from 10th of January, they will be the same dose which have been given in the past. That means a person who has got Covishield will get Covishield as the precautionary dose. If he has got Covaxin, then the person will get Covaxin. But by and large, when it comes to the Omicron crisis, we know that India also today confirmed the first death when it comes to the Omicron case, and that is something that is a worrisome development when it comes to the increase in number of cases in the country and the national capital as well. In fact, a short while ago, the daily health bulletin was released, and the positivity rate has crossed 11%, and almost more than 10,000 cases have been reported in Delhi in last 24 hours.
Right. Thanks very much for those updates. For now, Siddharth Sibul getting us those inputs from the national capital. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.